Good evening, guys. So I figured tonight I'm taking a little bit of a break away from working on a truck project. Got the trailers outside. We got some weather coming in tonight, and I'm going to be going into work early. So figured tonight, instead of working on that, I'm kind of relaxing a little bit. I did get a new tackle box for Christmas, and I was going to sit out here in the garage and set it up, and I just kind of figured, well, might as well make a video on it and show you guys where I got going and kind of talk a little bit about what I'm hoping to get out of this season's fishing trips. So come along and listen to me ramble while I fill a tackle box. So here it is. This was given to me as a Christmas present. It's a Plano 7771 Guide Series tackle box. It's got ample amounts of storage. I really like the fact that it is a rack system box, so it's got these individual little trays that can get pulled out. They come with their own little dividers. You can open the top up. Dividers, nice generous well right there. You can access that through the top here. Down in here, more nice big storage. So something I'm really liking so far on this is with these big wells, I can actually fit. I've got a Lucky Laker little fish finder that I keep with me for when I'm out on the kayak. And it fits in this nice big top cubby, perfect. So right here, this was my old saltwater box, and I'm probably going to keep it as my saltwater fishing box. However, now that I've moved out to northeast Pennsylvania and I fish primarily freshwater, this has kind of turned into my catch-all box for just a lot of my extra lures and stuff. Kind of has been ending up in here, and so now having this new Guide Series box is the perfect time for me to go through this box and grab just a lot of the extra stuff that I have in here and move it into that to set it up. So hopefully this box will get a little lighter. I might throw some of these big items will get thrown maybe up here, or maybe they'll stay in here, and this will just be a specific box that I grab if I know I'm going to be taking out that big 10-foot ugly stick that I have. So on this Plano box, as I showed before, it comes with these trays that stack up in it. And what I really like on that is I'm going to use each one of these trays is going to pack a different type of lure that I have. So I can take all of these different kinds, and I can take a specific tray and I'll fill it with a specific type of lures and label them. And then when I'm go out fishing, depending on what I want to use, I can grab just one tray, two trays. I can bring whatever I'm using, grab them, and go. Or I can take the whole box, or I can take the box with me, leave it in the truck, decide when I get there what do I want. If I'm going to throw crankbaits, I can grab that tray. If I want to switch it up later, go back to the truck, grab a different tray. So, start getting the trays filled up with lures, and we'll keep going. Alright, so in front of me I've got two of the trays. This is actually a Bass Pro Shop tray. This one came with a lure kit that I bought, and as you can see, it's considerably smaller than the rack system tray that came with the Plano. However, this one does fit in the top of that Plano box, so I'm going to probably fill this with all my ultralight gear, and I'll leave a couple of spaces empty in case I need to take something out of one of the other trays for a trip. But I use my ultralight pole the most when I'm on a kayak fishing. So if I set this up with all my ultralight gear in it, I can just grab just this little tray and it fits nicely in the kayak with me, because that big guide box is not going to fit inside of a kayak. It's way too big, at least for my kayak. Maybe if you have an open kayak or a bigger fishing kayak, it'll fit, but in my 10-foot kayak, that's not gonna fit inside the kayak with me. And even, this is my freshwater box, this little blue Plano box. This is the first box I ever bought. This little guy has a hard time fitting into the kayak with me and being able to actually access the tackle box. So that one I'm going to start working on emptying out, and we're going to start sorting between the different trays and putting into the ultralight carrier. It's right here. I'm filling this tray up with my crankbaits, and then something I like to do if you're going to use the dividers is I try to kind of lay everything out where it's going to sit before I put the dividers in. Just makes it a little easier so you don't end up making a cell that's maybe a little too small and you got to jump around. If you lay everything out, you can, in one shot, you can just put all the dividers in, and you just break the little tabs off, get these little things, and they just slide into these little notches that are throughout the case, and that'll help you organize and keep everything neat. Now with the dividers in, everything's got its own little cell. If this rattles around, they don't all jumble up on each other. Keeps everything separated and neat and nice and neat. So, there's my crankbait tray. Still has room for me to get a couple more. And next tray will probably be probably either jerk baits or swim baits will go into the next tray. So I'm setting up my tray here with some soft plastics and rigging up some hooks. But I just want to kind of touch on, I'm kind of really excited for this summer season. I got a couple new fishing spots that I found that I want to go test out. I've got my kayak is set up. So I found, last summer I found a couple spots I could actually go kayaking on easily. Got that all rigged up. And then, so I'm really excited to be going out this year, and I'm going to have, there's going to be some fishing, some better fishing content than last year. Something I got this winter is I just got a GoPro, so I'm hoping I can get some better quality video and actually make videos out on the water. And so hopefully, so if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you'll get a notification when that stuff actually hits. And there should be, I don't want to misspeak, but I'm hoping maybe there'll be like one video a month of fishing. If I can get out the way I want to get out, I should be able to pull that off. If not, then I apologize now if you're looking forward to it. But I am going to try to actually bring a lot more fishing content this year. I know this is Fritzy's Rebel Garage, but frankly, fishing and whatnot is kind of this is an all things place of mostly your typical of your hobbies and stuff that you can do out, either in the garage or in the outdoors. So that's kind of my de-stressing, and my outlet is going fishing. So I'm going to bring some of that. So you will see fishing content here, among other things. And this carpentry, there's fishing, the trucks, the mechanical side of things. But yeah, no, I got. So yeah, we're gonna be getting out a lot more this year, hopefully, fish-wise. And I got a couple more spots that I found last year that I want to do some more exploring into. I.e., I got rigging up a better tackle box here, as you saw, and yeah, so I'm hoping this will actually be a really nice season to get some fishing in, and hopefully we'll make some get some catch. So here we go. Got the new tackle box pretty much rigged up, probably about 80 to 85% where it needs to be. It's definitely ready to go for my next fishing trip. I'll add stuff if I find that I'm grabbing items out of this tackle box, which I'm just kind of using. This has my really big saltwater gear in it, and mostly this is just gear that is so big I can only use it on that 10-foot pole. So if I find I'm grabbing something out of this a lot and using it on the lighter pole, it'll get added to this box. But as of right now, I'm going to call it about 80% complete. Alright, so we'll start the tour of the tackle box. Up here in the back, I've got 2 different sized jig heads, snap swivels, little Colt pocket knife. I've got 3 lures that might be too big, but if I knew I was going to grab something out of the other box, it would be probably one of those 3. There's a bucktail, a white shad, and a floating jerkbait. Pretty big jerkbait though on that one. It's a 1 ounce, 6-inch jerkbait. Got a couple bobbers just in case I do throw bait. And close that up. Over here, in there I've got my fish finder, little Lucky Laker handheld fish finder. So that sits in that well. That one. You open the lid here, and this is where I store a lot of the packs for different ones, or the rubber and the swim baits, and just my extras. They stay up here. Got some 2-inch floating fat grubs, 3-inch ones over here. Got some squids. My ultralight tackle tray is right there. A couple of pliers and some cutters. Some more little squid ends for the ultralight. You can see again, there's the well with the Lucky Laker in it. So over here, this port is currently empty. I'm probably going to keep my GoPro and a lot of the GoPro accessories in there. It looks like it was made for a spool of fishing line would go in there, and then you could put your line could come up over here, and the dividers for that side look like they would actually come in handy. You have a couple of different spools, a couple of different trays that you're working with. Close that up. And you pop this one. This door opens. And then in here you got the 4 plastic trays I was talking about. My crankbaits. Go down a level. I got a lot of my top water poppers, a couple X-Wraps, a Whopper Plopper, and a frog. Again, most of my trays do have some empty spots, so I can go and get more lures this year. Here we got lipless crankbaits and jerkbaits. And the bottom one, I can get it out, the tail gets kind of in the way. And then the bottom one's got a lot of rubber and swim baits. But yeah, so that's the new tackle box that I'll be using this year. Plano 7771. And yeah, so as I said, this year I'm hoping we'll get out on the water a whole lot more than we did last year.